Hello students, today we are going to discuss an extremely important topic called bibliographical information sources. As a researcher, as a library information science professional, this tool has an immense importance for doing any conducting or any kind of research work, because this is extremely important for everybody to understand what is exactly the bibliography is. A bibliography is a list of all the sources you have used, whether referenced or not, in the process of your researching your work. In general, a bibliography should include the author's name, the titles of the work. So, for you need to understand the author and the title of any publication is an extremely important as far as the bibliography is concerned. Role of bibliographies: identify important and relevant sources on a topic, find what research has already been done on a particular topic, find articles and books written by or about a particular person, find out where to look for relevant information. Now, in the third point which you saw, that find articles and books written by or about a particular person, means we will see that how an impact factor of a journal article or a book of a particular contribution to a research work, it makes an immense difference for a researcher, and that is calculated on a basis of something. So, there is a practical formula on that. So, for that, bibliographical information, a correct bibliographical information is an extremely important component for this. Now, bibliographies are works that can be a complete or selective list of readings on a particular subject, a list of publications, documents or other items by or about a particular person, a list of the source materials used or consulted during research on a topic, the list of the contents of a library, a group of libraries or a personal collection, the list of works published by one or more publishers and part of something else or stand on their own. So, this is how a work of a bibliography keeps on changing depending upon the research work. Now, when we look at the different types of bibliographies, there are three different types which are majorly it is divided, classified. One of them is universal bibliographies, another is a national bibliographies, and another is a subject specific or a special bibliographies. So, we will see how all these three categories are distinguished into three different categories of bibliographies, and you should be able to understand what is the importance of each one of them when we discuss each one of them at length with some examples. Let us take an example. Let us start with universal bibliographies. It attempts to list all the books that have ever been published. Coverage is all subjects. Please remember, I am emphasizing the word all subjects, and it is meant for any stakeholders. It could be for anybody, it could be for you, it could be for your researchers, it could be any academicians, it could be for any consultants. So, it is in general, it is in general. So, please remember, the coverage is all subjects, the subjects which are covered, it is a wide range of coverage of that. National bibliographies attempt to list all of the published and sometimes the unpublished works of a person, may attempts to list everything written about that person. For example, let us take an example, a bibliography of the works of Ernest Hemingway. Now, here it is a bibliography of the works of Ernest Hemingway. So, Ernest Hemingway and his contribution to the research is an important component here. So, please remember, a bibliography of the work, the research work, the contribution to in this different scholarly publications done by Ernest Hemingway. Attempts list every book published in a particular country. For example, the Library of Congress, they bring out a National Union Catalogue, and the British National Bibliography list all or most of the books, periodicals and other materials published in the United States and in the United Kingdom. So, this is a Library of Congress is bringing out what? It is a National Union Catalogue of the British National Bibliography. So, see you can see how the national publications are given a prime importance here, and they are the research work is compiled here, put together in a much more systematic way. So, this is how it differs from the universal bibliography which we have discussed in the previous slide. The subject of a special bibliography. Now, this is very important. For any kind of research work, subject or special bibliography are extremely important. It lists sources on a particular subject. So, please remember, it is talking about the particular subject which we are emphasizing here. Maybe on a broad subject such as nutrition, we will see some examples. Okay. Maybe a very narrow subject such as the toxicology of aspartame. So, basically under nutrition we are looking at the toxins of a particular plant, that is aspartame. Now, may be published separately as books in their own right, and may be published as a list of references at the end of a book or a journal article. So, what happens when there is a researcher, when he is conducting a research on a particular subject area. So, if he is publishing an article or he is publishing a book, he comes out with a references at the end of the article, a list of bibliography at the end of the book also. Now, that particular book which he has published, it is focused on a particular subject. So, the list of bibliography which you will see at the end of the book, it is on that particular subject. So, it is focused on that particular subject area. So, this is extremely important to understand. Then there is something called as book trade bibliographies. They are compiled by the publishing industry to tell potential purchasers what has been or will be published in coming years. For example, the books in print. This is an extremely important publication for all of you library information science professionals, because every year the publishing industry brings out this books in print. Why they bring out? That if there is any kind of publication which is forthcoming or the publication which is all released. So, what they do? They want to make it aware, they want to make it aware to everybody, to your stakeholders, to your researchers, okay, and to other library information science professions. So, on a particular subject, this particular thing. So, they bring out a what is called as trade bibliography to make it. It could be on general, it could be specific also. It depends upon the what kind of trade bibliography they are doing it. The next point is, are published by used and rare book dealers to let potential buyers know what is available. For example, book prices current. Now, for this, suppose there is a particular book. Now, you know, the book can be published in two things. One, it could be hardcover, it could be on soft cover also. Nowadays, the books are also available in the e-formats. So, sometimes in the many, as a library information science professional, you should know that when you want to purchase a particular publication for your library or for your institution or for your researchers, which particular format you should go for. Preferably the library goes for the hardcover books, because it has a much more life length, whereas the soft cover book is available and the e-book is also available. If you are providing tabs or something like that, or in mobile, then you can provide it in the e-format also. Now, the question is, it has got a differential pricing. For hardcover, the pricing would be different. For the soft cover, the pricing would be different. For the e-format, the pricing would be different. So, it is your prerogative, it is your organization's decision or your decision as a librarian, that which particular format you should buy and which particular format would be useful for your researchers to utilize it. So, you need to understand the need of the stakeholder. So, based on that, and there is you have a price comparisons also. So, that is called a price differentiation. So, you have got different pricings in there. So, you can pick up which particular price is important. So, you can make a competition. Sometimes even the international edition is available, sometimes the Indian edition is available. So, if you think that both the content are same and you have a shortage of budget and all, even you can go for Indian edition too. It depends on once again your decision. So, this is a very extremely important example on book prices current. Organization. Bibliographies can be organized in a variety of different ways. How they are organized? Now, it could be short bibliographies that tend to be alphabetical or chronological, okay, by date wise. Long bibliographies tend to be organized by topic or theme. In the case of book, length bibliographies, the introduction and the table of contents generally describe in its organization. So, personal bibliographies are frequently divided into different sections. Sections listing the works written by that particular person, section listing works about that person, his or her work. So, you can see when you do an organization of a bibliography, it is always classified into three parts. One is short bibliography, another is a long bibliography, another is a personal bibliography. To find the bibliographies on your topic, suppose as a library information science professional, tomorrow you want to help your researchers to go for a certain work, help them into research work and all, you like to go for a, you want to go through some of the bibliographies. So, how will you go through that? Look at the end of a relevant encyclopedia article. Now, when you see the relevant encyclopedia article, look at the end of relevant books or journal articles. Books and articles on your topic will have relevant references in their bibliographies. So, that gives a birth to a particular path, that from where your research assistance should start. So, when you refer from an encyclopedia article or from a relevant books, when you start, so you pick up a book, see the bibliography at the back, you can see the kind of trend of articles were published in books or journals or conference proceeding, whatever be the thing, or in the internet too, and they have been compiled together on a very subject specific area. So, it gives you a birth to that this is from where my research work should start, and this is extremely important for any able researcher. This important component is, so you have to, when you want to start an assistance, a research assistant to any of your stakeholder, that is the most important thing. You get hold of a book, see what are the areas they have covered in their bibliographies, it will give you a direction to that. So, you have to find out that important direction on that. Now, to find bibliographies on your topic, look at the end of a relevant encyclopedia article. Look at the end of relevant books or journal articles. Books and articles on your topic will have relevant references in their bibliographies. Do a subject search in the library catalogs on a person, topic, book, etc., followed by the subdivision. Now, bibliography, for example, like you are talking about a broad subject called nutrition bibliography. So, if you are searching for a person, you may need to know the dates that person lived. For example, bibliographies on Ernest Hemingway will be listed under the subject heading Hemingway Ernest 1899 to 1961 bibliography. So, you need to know the chronology of that. So, you may have to go for a cross referencing also. Do a keyword search in the online catalog on your person, topic or book plus the subdivision, that is bibliography. For example, early childhood development and bibliography. So, please remember, searching a topic with the help of a bibliography is an art. So, do not think that on one day you will have a mastery on it. First of all, when you get a query from your researcher or you raise a query on a particular topic, the first thing what you have to do is you have to understand that this is what is coming up. So, then you go for one by one each and every bibliography on that. How is a bibliography different from a work cited or a reference list? You know, people have got a lot of confusion towards work cited as well as reference list. The work cited or reference list is only comprised of references to those items actually cited in the paper itself. What is an analytical bibliography? This is another type of bibliography. An annotated bibliography is a list of citations to books, articles and documents. Each citation is followed by a brief, usually about 150 words, descriptive and evaluative paragraph. That is an annotation. There is an annotation is given to it. The purpose of the annotation is to inform the reader of the relevance, accuracy and quality of the sources he has cited. So, the moment he reads that particular paragraph, it is extremely important for him to understand and find out the gist from that gist of that article. So, annotated bibliography for any researcher or for any individual is an extremely important handy reference tool for him. Now, there is a difference between annotations versus abstracts. Abstracts are the purely descriptive summaries often found at the beginning of scholarly journal articles or in periodical indexes. Annotations are descriptive and critical. They expose the author's point of view, clarity and appropriateness of expression and authority. Now, process involved in the preparation of annotated bibliography. Now, so there is a there is a process which is involved. So, we will go into deep into this particular thing, how an annotated bibliography is prepared. So, creating an annotated bibliography calls for the application of a variety of intellectual skills, like for example, concise exposition, succinct analysis and informed library research. So, three components. First, locate and record citation to books, periodicals and documents that may contain useful information and ideas on your topic. Briefly examine and review the actual items, then choose those work that provide a variety of perspective on your topic. Cite the book, article or document using the appropriate style and write a concise annotation that summarizes the central theme and scope of the book or article. So, please remember, so these three components are important. Include one or more sentences that evaluate the authority or background of the author, comment on the intended audience, compare or contrast this work with another you have cited, or explain how this work illuminates your bibliographical topic. So, that is very important. And the selection of appropriate citation style. There are several citation style in the world. So, you have to find out the appropriate citation style. So, online citation guides for both modern language association like MLA or American Psychological Association APA styles are readily available for the reference purpose. So, you need to follow one of them. Now, this is a sample of a APA format, American Psychological Association format. You see in there is a title and how the author, the journal name, the volume number, the issue number, the page numbers they are written and the abstract at the below. So, this is a sample of an annotated bibliography of a journal article. So, this is a complete sample of that. So, you need to understand the flow of the language which is there in the abstract part of it. Now, we will see some of these online bibliographical tools which are extremely important nowadays for using some of these most popular referencing tools. Like for example, selective tools for automated bibliography like BibMe. This is a fully automatic bibliographical maker, the autofills. It is the easiest way to build works cited page and it is free of cost. Search for a book, article, website or film or enter the information yourself. Add to your bibliography and continue citing to build your work cited list. Download your bibliography in MLA, APA, Chicago or Turabian format or whatever. BibMe is very easy to use, but you need to pay for a pro account to save your bibliographies. There is another is CiteThisForMe. CiteThisForMe allows you to automatically create website citations in the APA, MLA, Chicago or Harvard referencing styles at the click of a button. Simply browse to the page you wish to cite and click the button to generate a correctly formatted citation. Then copy paste the citations into your assignment or add to your online bibliography for safekeeping until later. CiteThisForMe also comes with a Google Chrome extension. So, this CiteThisForMe is a very popular very popular reference tool. In addition to that, there are several other reference tools, like one of them is Zotero, which is very popular and it gets integrated with your even the Word file also. And the another popular is, which is also web based, which is called Mendeley. So, Zotero is a veteran and completely free browser based plugin that helps you to collect, organize, cite and share your research sources. Whereas Mendeley is a free reference manager, an academic social network, make your fully searchable libraries in second, cite you as you write and read and annotate your PDFs on any device. So, in fact, the current version of the Mendeley is also having a web version. So, what happens that all your citations which you have done may be used for some other article, could be used for this also, even in the Zotero version also, that you can put it on the web itself, and whenever you are writing an article, just click on the Mendeley, Mendeley will get activated and it will automatically it will start doing your citation. At the end of it, it will develop your references, and end of it, it can also develop your bibliography. So, these kinds of tools, because for each and every these style guides, there are some very minute details are there. So, these reference tools are giving a lot of privileges to the people to do a lot of research and helping them. It is a kind of a research reference tool today for writing any article, journal article or any book on a particular format and all. Then comes your non-book material. It could be discography, filmography or bibliography. Discography is basically nothing but it is recording the music in a particular format. Is another, you can call it as another avatar of bibliography. Filmography is basically on films and bibliography is basically on websites. So, this is very extremely important, you have to understand these words. The first use of the word bibliography recorded in Oxford English Dictionary dates in June 1995. And there is something also called arachneography, is a term coined by NASA research historian Andrew Butterica, which means a reference list of URLs, only URLs about a particular subject. It is equivalent to a bibliography in a book. The name derived from arachne in reference to a spider and its web. So, this is how the different kinds of the bibliographies which are available when you write. So, nowadays under bibliography you can put everything, or you can have discography, filmography, bibliography, arachnography, you can also do that. Now, bibliography is a very important component nowadays, because a lot of research materials are available in online databases as well as in the internet format. So, bibliography is a very common format. So, the researchers, they are using bibliography, they are also using bibliography. There are bibliographical database, a database of bibliographical records and organized digital collection of references to published literature, including journal and newspaper articles, conference proceeding, reports, government and legal publications, patents, books, etc. In contrast to library catalog entries, a large proportion of the bibliographic records in bibliographic databases describe articles, conference papers, etc., rather than a complete monograph, and they generally contain very rich subject descriptions in the form of keywords, subject classification terms or abstracts. A bibliographic database may be general in scope or a cover scientific academic discipline like computer science. A significant number of bibliographical databases are still proprietary, available by licensing agreement from vendors or directly from the indexing and abstracting services that create them. Now, this is a bibliographical index. A bibliographical index is a bibliography, an aid to search the literature, for example, an academic field or discipline like philosopher's index, to works of a specific literary from bibliography index, or published in a specific format like newspaper abstracts, or to analyze contents of a serial publication like New York Times index. Index of these kinds are issued in print periodical form, issued in monthly or quarterly paperback supplements, cumulative annually, online or both. Since the 1970s, they are typically generated as an output from bibliographic databases. Citations are usually listed by author and subject in separate sections or in a single alphabetical sequence under a system of authorized headings, collectively known as controlled bibliography, developed over time by the indexing service. Now, there is something called meta bibliography. A meta bibliography is a bibliography of bibliographies. So, bibliographies serve the finding of relevant information. Meta bibliographies serve the finding of the relevant bibliographies in which the relevant documents may be found, and meta bibliographies are valuable for building reference collection also. These are some of the list of bibliographies which you will come across in your day to day life, like for example, AAA's journals, Elsevier Science Direct, Women Writers Online. So, I would request each and every students to please go through this and get yourself familiarized with these kind of select bibliographies. These are some of the popular bibliographies which you will come across in your life, and these are very subject specific, like World War II or Malay World of Southeast Asia. These are on very subject specific bibliographies, some of the things which are very well known and they have been published also. This is a very famous website called WorldCat. This was brought out by OCLC. It contains an enormous amount of bibliographical catalog, and it is a catalog of entire resources of the world. It is here. So, you can see this particular website and go through it, and how you can see how the different kind of format or a content has been beautifully displayed on this particular website. So, you need to go through each and every component of this OCLC WorldCat and see what are the different kinds of bibliographies are developed on that. This is a sample of a bibliography which you can see. Nowadays, it is very, to make people much more aware of each and every these components, it is extremely important to change the format of these kind of bibliographies. Like in this, you can see there is a picture of the book was given along with the bibliographical informations. They may not have followed a certain style, but in the gist, it is an annotated bibliography, because even you can see the details of this book also, you can read a gist of this book also, you can see the review of this book also, that how many people have reviewed this book. So, these kind of very specific content are very beautifully displayed in this OCLC World Catalog. So, I would request each one of you to please go through each one of them and see how they have been beautifully categorized in each and every component on this. This is another example of climate change bibliography, where you can see the different stars. Now, these stars are basically the feedback of the people on that. It also tells you that what are the different kinds of the other related titles are available. This is another sample how the annotated bibliography looks into the content page of that particular one. And so, basically what is most important is that you as a researcher need to understand, or a library information science professional, bibliography is the first step for any one of you to start with your research work. It shows you a direction. So, first thing what you need to do, you have large number, you have seen a large number of references are available, large number of sources are available. What you need to do is basically just go into it and find out the relevant portion from there, and then you can cross reference with the different other publications, and then you can compile your research work for that entire purpose. So, bibliography is sources of information is an extremely important reference tool for library information science professional as well as for the research professionals also. Thank you.